So a racist Mexican restaurant discriminated against a Donald Trump supporter because of her own political views, and they kicked the Trump supporter out of their restaurant simply because she was pro-Trump. Esther Levy, 61 years old, claims she was thrown out of the Cancun Inn eatery. The family-run Mexican restaurant says it doesn't discriminate over politics. According to the restaurant, however, they claim that the customers were told to leave as they were rowdy due to intoxication. Miss Levy says, that's the Trump supporter woman, says that they screamed and the restaurant said they, quote, do not serve Trump supporters. This wouldn't surprise me because you see that's one aspect, one manifestation of what I like to call minority privilege. Minority privilege is getting to live by double standards, getting away with double standards. Minorities love to claim that they're victims of discrimination, and they will sue your ass into the dirt. Yet the same people claiming you have to be tolerant of them are the first ones intolerantly kicking your ass out of their fucking restaurant. It's a 61-year-old alleged, quote, the co-owner threw us out while screaming at me that he does not serve Trump supporters and we have to leave right away and never come back. Does that really surprise you? Do you really think that this lady had, by the way, a 61-year-old drunk woman? I mean, last I checked, 61-year-old people aren't the most obvious demographic to be getting shit fucking drunk and being rowdy. Is it really too hard to believe that maybe these Mexican restaurant owners who live by the privileges of minority privilege thought that they could just discriminate against this white Trump supporter because, hey, they're the majority, right? Even though last I checked, aren't white people going to be a minority in America in like 15, 20 years? So wait, so who's the victim? Who's the aggressor? Who's the bully? Who's the minority? You know, I mean, make up your fucking mind. And the truth is that if white people will be a minority in 15 to 20 years, then that means it's time for white people to start playing the minority victim card the way other minority groups have unrelentingly and unabashedly for so many decades now. And, you know, this wrath that you can feel in American society if you're a Trump supporter, I experienced this wrath firsthand. You know, I was in South Beach, Miami South Beach a couple weeks ago, and I was walking down the sidewalk wearing my Donald Trump shirt, and some dude came up to me, confronted me, and he was like shocked that I would be wearing that shirt. And I sensed a little bit of hostility coming off of him. And the hostility was like, I felt like walking around with a Trump shirt was like walking around with like a KKK robe or some shit. Like, that's the kind of hostility I felt off this guy. And not because Trump is a racist or a KKK member or a KKK sympathizer, but because people have been brainwashed. To be fair, some have been brainwashed by the media to hate Trump and think he's a racist. Other people know Trump isn't a racist, but that's how they move themselves forward. You call your opponent a racist, and that's a way to handicap and neuter them, so you can tear them down and then trample over them in your own racist, racial supremacist agenda. The Donald Trump Finally Someone with Balls t-shirt on my website, available now. Link to the shirt is below as always. If you go to the Facebook page of the restaurant, Cancun Inn Restaurant, they're getting downrated into oblivion. This morning it was like 3.5, now it's 2.6. They released a statement claiming, yes, because they were being drunk and rowdy. Yes, 61-year-old rowdy drunk person. That makes a lot of sense. Or maybe you're just racist, Mexican, quote-unquote minorities exercising your privilege. And of course they're getting spammed by pro-Trump people sharing pro-Trump memes. Go Trump, fuck your racist restaurant, close this racist dump down. You have to agree with this. And you know, it's funny because the restaurant, of course, they claim that the Trump supporter she was the one being violent. She was the one being rowdy and crazy, which is funny because isn't that the exact same narrative that the mainstream media says about Trump supporters? The mainstream media says that at Trump rallies, it's the Donald Trump people. They're the ones being violent, inciting violence. And all the minorities and the Mexicans and the liberals who get hit or pushed out of a Trump event, it's because they're just the victims who got assaulted. That same narrative that the mainstream media pushes, this restaurant is trying to push. But the truth is, if you look at the history of rioters outside of Trump rallies, 9 times out of 10, they are the aggressors. And whenever you see a Trump supporter pushing a anti-Trumper out of the event, it's because it's in self-defense to get this professional heckler out of there. You know, here's just one example. Right here, this woman here, throwing eggs at her, waving Mexican flags, tossing stuff at her face. We all remember this classic incident. So it's double standards. And the truth is that if anyone's violent and intolerant, the people who have proven to be violent and intolerant are the anti-Trump rioters. The pro-Trump people, 9 times out of 10, are not initiating violence. You want to be equal? A lot of you claim that you're superior to America. You're superior to the white man. You can never be superior to somebody as long as you enjoy the benefits of double standards. As long as your enemy has one hand tied behind their back, you can never be superior to them. That's what Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is the end of double standards candidate. I mean, to me, that's one of the main reasons I like Trump. It's about ending double standards.
I thought that was disgusting. The microphone, they just took the whole place over. That will never happen with me. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will, but that was a disgrace.
And so, speaking of black privilege and the historical fact that African kings engaged in the slave trade by selling other black people, I want to play a clip for you guys from the book Black Rednecks and White Liberals, because there's a chapter in this book that obliterates this idea that white people are the evil slave masters and they're the only race on the planet who should feel guilty of slavery. I'm going to play a quick preview from that.
Incredibly lopsided coverage of slavery in the United States or in the Western Hemisphere as compared to the meager writings on the even larger number of Africans enslaved in the Islamic countries of the Middle East and North Africa, not to mention the vast numbers of Europeans also enslaved in centuries past in the Islamic world and within Europe itself. At least 1 million Europeans were enslaved by North African pirates alone from 1500.
So again, guys, that's just a preview from the book Black Rednecks and White Liberals. There's so much you need to learn. And honestly, in the age of Black Lives Matter, where these maniac black racists are trying to blame you, the white man, for things you didn't do, you have to arm yourself with knowledge. You have to arm yourself in self-defense with ideas. Again, I'll put the link to this book in the description below. And by the way, you could actually get this audiobook. It's also available in paperback, but if you're an audiobook fan like I am, you can get an audiobook too. You can get the audiobook for free when you sign up for Audible. They give you 1 free audiobook. Again, I'll put the link to the book in the description below.